Stack that money till I can't no more. We be. How long would it be until this pain gon' go? Straight from the bottom, blow it back on my bros. Oh yeah, yeah. Just 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump up on my bag. I say down, I let it shorty. You. They be talking, did he rap you? I jump it down, I send my brothers for the slap for you. And every around me willing for the for you. Who you judging? I come up straight from the gutter. We'll struggle, me and my brothers, ain't no one but each other. I can buy a hatchback, but can't buy my family back, my life nothing. I want my knee back, but I'm caught up with the like that red eye. Stack that money till I can't no more. We be. How long would it be until this pain gon' go? Straight from the bottom, blow it back on my bros. Oh yeah, yeah. Just for 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump up on my bag. Got plenty money, but then now before I resign. But I fly miles across this town to see you smiling. She be fans of like this won't be a hype man. But the minute I won't be alone, she don't like that. I took heat into your letters, I was with no selling. I ain't wanna be no ever with you. From the bottom all the way back to my section. Every day, yeah, we be stepping. Chasing up one day I be through. I'm caught up with money like this dream ain't nothing. Don't let me, don't like I be stunning. I miss big like my granny, we still about my cousin. Digging but ain't searching for gold, I know I'm looking for something. I'ma ride that red eye. Stack that money till I can't no more. We be. How long would it be until this pain gon' go? Straight from the bottom, blow it back on my bros. Oh yeah, yeah. Just for 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump up on my bag. I'ma ride that red eye. Like a stack that money till I can't no more. We be. How long would it be until this pain gon' go? Straight from the bottom, blow it back on my bros. Oh yeah, yeah. Just 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump up on my bag. I say down, I let it shorty. You. They be talking, did he rap you? I jump it down, I send my brothers for the slap for you. And every around me willing for the for you. Who you judging? I come up straight from the gutter. We'll struggle, me and my brothers, ain't no one but each other. I can buy a hatchback, but can't buy my family back, my life nothing. I want my knee back, but I'm caught up with the like that red eye. Stack that money till I can't no more. We be. How long would it be until this pain gon' go? Straight from the bottom, blow it back on my bros. Oh yeah, yeah. Just for 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump up on my bag. Got plenty money, but then now before I resign. But I fly miles across this town to see you smiling. She be fans of like this won't be a hype man. But the minute I won't be alone, she don't like that. I took heat into your letters, I was with no selling. I ain't wanna be no ever with you. From the bottom all the way back to my section. Every day, yeah, we be stepping. Chasing up one day I be through. I'm caught up with money like this dream ain't nothing. Don't let me, don't like I be stunning. I miss big like my granny, we still about my cousin. Digging but ain't searching for gold, I know I'm looking for something. I'ma ride that red eye. Stack that money till I can't no more. We be. How long would it be until this pain gon' go? Straight from the bottom, blow it back on my bros. Oh yeah, yeah. Just for 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump up on my bag.
The Hornets making their grand entrance earlier. Looking good. Confident they can get the job done in front of their home crowd. A lot going on here in the Queen City. There's trying streaks in uptown Charlotte, home of the Hornets. 2K Sports presents Thursday night of the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan, and joining me tonight, Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, with our Hall of Famer David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Norman Powell is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Nurkic in at the 5 spot. And for the Hornets, P.J. Washington is out there with Miles Bridges. Then it's Ball. Then there's Terry Rozier, and it's Hayward in at the small forward. Some of the best in the game go at it here tonight, Chris. What an incredible guard matchup we have here in this one.
Oh, Kevin, there are some all-time greats playing at the guard spots these days. It will be a fun matchup to watch.
The pass to Powell. McCollum deciding where to go with it. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over.
McCollum, he's excellent at handling the rock. He feels like he can get to anywhere he wants on the court.
Ball against Lillard. Ball, the pass to Rozier. Good D by McCollum.
Man, you don't see this fella blow many layups. Not against D like that, anyway.
And talk about playing small. Last year, Charlotte had Rozier and Devontae Graham on the floor together for much of the time. Both players right around 6'1". But you know what? They held their own.
Here's Bridges, and the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Rebounding is about getting the right positioning. Bridges doing an excellent job at this on the glass.
And, of course, Rozier played a fair amount of off guard before he came to Charlotte.
And Kevin, back in Boston, he learned how to move without the ball, where to spot up. And those may have been hard lessons early on, but the development paid off. Rozier has become a much more versatile talent.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And that one falls for Bridges.
And one of the things that stands out when you see Bridges, that explosive leaping ability.
But yeah, he gets off the ground quickly and makes adjustments in mid-air. There's a smoothness to his athleticism. He's still putting it all together, but there's a lot to work with.
Now here's Powell. 6 to shoot. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you got to bring much faster help than that.
Here's Rozier. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
Awesome body control from Rozier that time. Real hard to get a shot up and in while taking a hit.
And see, well, really, because of that raw athleticism, Rozier was a mid-first round pick back in 2015. And you can see, though, that skill set is evolving.
Well, that's why Charlotte gave him the 3-year, $58 million contract. I mean, the feeling is he's still reaching his full potential. And we saw signs of growth last year.
That's good from Rozier.
Oh, the fearlessness by Rozier, that's what helps him earn the trip to the stripe.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
I was able to talk with Terry Stotts for a minute. They'll be going up against Gordon Hayward tonight. Coach is a big fan of Hayward's all-around game. Coach told me how impressed he is with Hayward's shot selection and how it's hard to make him settle for a bad look. They will try to make him do that this time. Guys?
Thanks so much, David. Here's Washington. After the basket by Jusuf Nurkic, he gets that one. Bridges has got his second bucket tonight.
This is what we saw from Bridges in college, the live body, able to make contact and complete plays.
Here's Lillard. Nurkic trying to get open. And there's Lillard on the assist by McCollum.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Now here's Ball. Hayward outside. 35 seconds left in the first quarter. The kick out to Rozier. Sinks the three-pointer. Rozier's got 6.
Oh, beautiful looking 3-ball from Rozier, really expanding his range.
23 seconds left in the first quarter. Lillard outside. Nurkic trying to get open, and it's Damian Lillard with the 3. He has 5.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, these days, so much emphasis on the perimeter game, but you can see why after that sequence.
Rozier with the ball. Shoots. And Charlotte again with the bucket.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one so far. Hornets ahead. They lead by a bucket. We'll be back shortly live from Spectrum Center. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter, and we'll see what happens here in the second. And let's quickly break down the game, guys, we've been watching from the Hornets.
Attacking, drawing fouls. They won that first quarter at the line.
They were just the more aggressive team. I mean, feeding off this crowd's energy.
Greg, you were a physical, defensive-minded player. What are your thoughts on how closely the game is called now as opposed to when you play?
It is, Kevin, and yeah, some people like the physicality of the era I played in, but, you know, I like the beauty of the game with the spacing and the freedom of movement, and I think that's one reason why you see so much switching. It's hard to fight through screens without fouling, and ball handlers have become experts at drawing contact, even if it's, you know, incidental, and I think that's just an area where the game has changed so much that that ability to play in space is so vital.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the court right now for the Trailblazers, we've got Anthony. Enes Kanter is out there with Collins. Then there's C.J. McCollum. And it's Simons in at the 1.
And one of the more explosive dunkers in the league. Monk seems to make a highlight reel play on a nightly basis.
Yeah, a flashy player as an amateur, and now as a pro. Monk has a 40-plus inch vert. That's right. Very few guys his size finishes the alley-oop the way he does.
Monk, the pass to Biyombo. Some nice pass in here by Charlotte. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And the foul goes against Portland. This is his first free throw of the game.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
And one thing that gives these scouts confidence in Zeller's ability to expand his shooting range is the fact that he's been a solid free throw shooter ever since he's entered this league.
And so Zeller nails both of them. There's 1:40 left in the first half. Here's Simons, Graham defending. And here's McCollum for 3. Zeller grabs the board. Charlotte in the lead. Now, here's Monk. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. And it's Graham missing.
Oh, the defense with no impact at all. Just didn't have the feel for his jump shot.
And it's McCollum off the drive. And it's Biyombo with the rebound. For Charlotte, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Over to the left wing. Stolen by McCollum. Anthony, no one around. Kept alive. Kanter. That doesn't go, and he's 0 of 1 from the field. And so it's Charlotte with it. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. And he comes up with the deuce. Trailblazers trail by 4. Kicks to McCollum. With some arc, he lays it in. McCollum's got 8 points.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Here's Graham. Score of the basket, his third after 5 shots.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
McCollum right side.
With the D playing soft off him, he might have been better off taking it to the hoop instead of settling for the jumper.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Hornets lead by 4. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Terry Stotts. Coach, it's a hard game so far. Going into the second half, what will you tell your team?
You just got to compete. You know, keep competing, trust each other, and make plays.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It is a good game we have here after one half of play. Everybody, welcome back for our halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith. The first quarter for the Hornets was fairly even. At the end of the period, they were up by 2. They were a determined team in the second quarter, and you saw it come across on the scoreboard. Kenny, let's get your take on Charlotte.
Well, you can see the comfortable atmosphere that these players are playing with on the offensive end. Guys understand their roles, Ernie, and they make it look easy on the offensive floor tonight, shooting a very high percentage and not making any bad decisions.
Shaq, how do you think Portland played?
Well, this is a close game. Every point matters. Right now, they're not getting to the line much. To win this kind of matchup, you got to be aggressive. You got to be, you just got to be aggressive. Let's just see if they can ramp up their intensity, Ernie.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half. About to get underway.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Nice game. Great performance by Terry Rozier.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
This game has his fingerprints all over it. Now looking to replicate what he did in the first half.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Ball out there with Rozier. Then it's Bridges. Then it's Hayward. And it's Washington in at the 5, roaming the paint. So that's who James Borrego starts the second half with. A new generation of players, Greg, coming into the NBA alongside your son Cole. We've got a lot of players who I think are going to have a long-term impact on this game.
There's no doubt about it. Listen, I hope Cole can have the kind of impact that some of these guys are, but look at the Grizzlies. I think they got 2 terrific ones. John Morant has superstar written all over him. Brandon Clark probably surprised some people with his ability to have an impact. And if you look at this past draft, Obi Toppin is one to watch. This is a guy with great size and length who was a perimeter player until he had a growth spurt. So those are the types of players that I think when you combine athleticism and skill with the way the court is spaced, man, can have a tremendous impact in this game.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, good evening. Well, last season, the Blazers were beset by injuries, and they fell short of their goals. Their star, Damian Lillard, said, "Once we're in a better position, I want people to remember how I responded when things didn't go my way, so that they know my character is true." Kevin, we know that Dame grew up in Oakland, a place where overcoming adversity was ingrained. Back to you.
Thank you, D.A. No good off the back of the rim. Charlotte leading by 4.
In a move Hayward perfected last season, coming to a full stop in the lane and hitting that little short jumper.
Yeah, Greg. I mean, he'd stop and defenders would just keep going. Every player uses different tactics to create separation. For Hayward, that became his go-to move off the bounce.
Here's Lillard. Back to Covington. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And you look at Robert Covington, first team all-defense in 2018, the kind of versatile stopper that every team in the league could use.
Portland shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
And as a team, excellent a season ago, about 80% when they got to the line.
Shooting 2.
The first one falls. And Covington maybe not a star, but he's a winning player. We've seen that.
And the perfect example of that 3-and-D role player can guard 4 or 5 positions and can definitely sling it from outside.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Anthony's checked in. And both free throws good for Covington.
You know, this is the type of guy I like, from undrafted to a quality role player. I mean, he has heart. He's gotten better every year. Covington adds a lot to this team. He can let that thing fly, too. He's a fearless shooter.
Rozier can't cash in from close range.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
Powell, the pass to Carmelo. Anthony drawing the double team. Shot is good, and the Charlotte lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from Powell.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Passes it to Washington. Poke loose. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Powell finds Nurkic. Back to Powell for the lead. Bangs home the trifecta. Powell's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Yeah, that's 2 straight 3-pointers they've allowed.
Pass to Washington. Powell against Rozier. Back to Washington. And the layup is good. Washington's got it all tied up now for the Hornets.
He's just superb at reading the defense. I mean, Rozier's decisiveness is a huge reason why he exploits the D right there.
Lillard way outside. Great look, but off the mark. Tie game here in Charlotte. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Tense quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Here's Nurkic. And on the floor for Portland here in the fourth. Norman Powell is out there with Anthony. Then there's Yusuf Nurkic. Then it's Damian Lillard. And it's Simons in at the 2 guard. Lillard dishes to Nurkic. And stolen by Zeller. Reaches up top, covered by Lillard, and it goes down 2 points.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And here's Lillard. He brings it up for the Portland Trailblazers. A 2-point game. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a 3-point play. Going to the line for 1.
Cutting into that deficit now, well within striking distance.
Yeah, just trying to keep the momentum now, and that's easier said than done.
And Portland making a change here. McCollum's checked in.
1 shot.
Hornets shooting has been brilliant in this game, 67% from the floor. And here is Monk. No good on the shot. Good D by McCollum. Portland's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Here's Simons. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. McCollum's got 3 assists now in this one. Charlotte calls timeout. And some changes here for the Hornets. Gordon Hayward's checked in for McDaniel. And Terry Rozier subbed in for Monk. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Hi, guys. I was able to catch the message James Borrego gave to his team. And even though they're down, he was confident. He said, look, guys, I've got all the confidence in the world in you. We've been down this road before. You know what we need to do. Kevin, let's see if they can overcome this deficit.
Love watching Hayward fight through the contact. You see the improved strength working for him.
It's McCollum with the drive. Nice spin off the left rim and in. McCollum's got the lead up to 3 now for the Trailblazers. Now here's Graham. Tight defense on him. And he banks in the layup. Graham's got 4 points now on the court.
That's the perfect setup. Solid screen, defender can't avoid it. Opens up a clear path to the puck.
Here's McCollum. Hornets with the rebound. 1:15 left here in the fourth quarter. 13 feet away. C.J. McCollum with the rebound.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
And you're exactly right. I mean, that's the kind of shot you're trying to work for at the offensive end.
Fades back. It drops.
Oh, you just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Yeah, he approached that one with total confidence. He has what it takes to come through in the clutch. Such a focused, intense competitor. Zeller rising to the challenge.
Now a timeout called by Portland. They lead by 1. There's 47 seconds left in the fourth. And now a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, C.J. McCollum.
Well, he's got his field goal percentage in the high 50s, and that says a lot about how well he's been able to kind of exploit the gaps in the defense. His motion, his ability to find open spots on the floor, you can definitely see the difference.
Lillard against Graham. Gets the 3 to fall.
He
wants the ball. They want him to have the ball. And as usual, he comes through in the clutch.
Graham gets a wide open look. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. And now we've got the intentional foul. And so they foul intentionally.
Shoot two.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5.
Hard to believe Lillard missed out on a couple of all-star selections. I mean, in seasons where he averaged over 25 points a game.
And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 6-point ball game.
And he adds to their lead with some very solid free throws.
Charlotte calls timeout. They're behind by 6. 29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. .29 seconds left in the game. Here's Graham. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lillard. Now off the inbound. Got it. And now they trail by just 4.
Fantastic job. Hayward, one of the most versatile players in the league, showing he's also clutch.
And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
At the line for the Trailblazers.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
At the line for 2.
Good on the first, and that puts them up by 5.
But even though he's undersized, McCollum is just a tenacious scorer. He's a confident shooter that can catch fire quickly.
Second one is good. Hitting both at the line, and it's a 6-point ball game. And so Graham will bring it up for the Charlotte Hornets. And it's Rozier missing. And they go to the intentional foul.
That's his second personal foul. At the line, C.J. McCollum. Taking 2 shots.
Shooting 2.
So the first one drops, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he gets them both, and it's an 8-point game. 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Martin for 3. That one misses. And so it's Portland winning this one. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Damian, it looks like this team's progress can be measured by your improvement at the defensive end. Do we see that tonight?
We made some mistakes like every other basketball team does, but I think we did a great job of making adjustments. We got a little more physical. We did a great job of that.
And that led to a big win, Damian. Thanks for your time, man. Kevin?
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long, everyone.
I'm on that red eye, like a stack that money till I can't no more. We be I know what it be into this bang on low. Straight from the bottom, blow a bag on my bros. Oh yeah, just 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump up on my bag. I say down, I let it shut it. You, they be talking, did he rap you? I jump it down, I send my brothers for the slap you. And every around me willing for the for you. Who you judging? I come on straight from the gutter. We'll struggle, me and my brothers, ain't no one but each other. I can buy a hatchback, but can't buy my family back. My life nothing. I want my knee back, but I'm caught up with these. Like that red eye, like a stack that money till I can't no more. We be I know what it be into this bang on low. Straight from the bottom, blow a bag on my bros. Oh yeah, just put 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump up on my bag. Got plenty money, but they know where I reside. But I fly miles across this town, see you smiling. She be fans of like this won't be a hype man. The minute I won't be alone, she don't like that. I took heat into your levels, I was with no sailing. I ain't wanna be no other with you. From the bottom all the way back to my section. Every day, yeah, we be stepping. Chasing the one that I be through. I'm kinda old man, like this dream ain't nothing. Don't let me, don't like I be stunning. I miss big like my granny, we still by my cousin. Digging but ain't searching for gold, I know I'm looking for something. I'm on like that red eye, like a stack that money till I can't no more. We be I know what it be into this bang on low. Straight from the bottom, blow a bag on my bros. Oh yeah, just put 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money. I'm on like that red eye, like a stack that money till I can't no more. We be I know what it be into this bang on low. Straight from the bottom, blow a bag on my bros. Oh yeah, just 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump up on my bag. I say down, I let it shut it. You, they be talking, did he rap you? I jump it down, I send my brothers for the slap you. And every around me willing for the for you. Who you judging? I come on straight from the gutter. We'll struggle, me and my brothers, ain't no one but each other. I can buy a hatchback, but can't buy my family back. My life nothing. I want my knee back, but I'm caught up with these. Like that red eye, like a stack that money till money, but they know where I reside. Black minds across this town, see you smiling. She be fans of like this won't be a hype man. The minute I won't be eating to your levels, I was with you. From all the way back to my section. Every day, yeah, we be stepping. Chasing the one now, I be doing. Caught up with money like this dream ain't nothing. Don't like, I miss big like my granny. We still my cousin. Digging, but I searching for gold. I know I'm looking for something. I'm a ride it. Stack this back till I can't no more. We be. I don't wanna be into this thing, straight from the bottom, blow up, back on my yeah. Just for 100,000, say less, I paid it. Got plenty money, but I had to jump back. I'm a ride it. Stack this back till I can't no more. We be.
And getting mentally prepared to compete. You see the focus. You feel the energy. These guys are ready to go. There below is Barclays Center and the borough of Brooklyn, where there's never a dull moment. We are live. It's a Thursday night presentation here on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Washington Wizards. This is Kevin Harlan courtside with Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and our reporter tonight on the sidelines, David Aldridge. So a look at the starters for the Wizards. Hachimura and Bryant are in the middle. Bradley Beal is out there with Russell Westbrook. And it's Avdia in at the three spot. And for Brooklyn, they've got Griffin. Harris is out there with Durant. Then it's Harden. And it's Irving at the two. And so off the tip, it's Brooklyn. Harris outside. To the middle. Here's Griffin. And then Griffin with the dunk.
Set up on a platter that time by Harris. A room service down. Right there.
Outside, west side. Over Harden. And a little luck that time, but it drops.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
Well, they better be thinking about him. I mean, we know how dangerous he is.
Now, here is Harden. Off target from outside. And you know, we often talk about Beal's skill set and his finesse. He can play a very physical game as well, Greg.
He doesn't have a choice. I mean, he had four brothers who all played football in college, so he kind of grew up around the physicality. And you can also tell Bill's taking his strength and conditioning seriously, especially after having the lower body injury issues earlier in his career.
Here is Durant. Following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Shoots over Hachimura. KD's shot is good.
Boy, if you allow Durant that look, he's going to punish you. I mean, it's that simple.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, I was able to catch up with the Nets head coach. And the first thing we talked about was the approach they're going to take against Russell Westbrook. He said because of the energy Westbrook brings to the court, the message he gave to his players was to try and match every ounce of Westbrook's intensity their own. He can't let them let their guard down for an instant. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And the Nets with possession here. After the basket by Washington. Irving for three. Buries the long-range jumper.
You know, the threat of Irving's drive can open up looks for him from the perimeter. And Man, he is a gifted scorer, folks.
And Beal kicks to Westbrook. Good, and Beal picking up the assist. Westbrook's got six.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
And you know what? They're going to keep using him. I mean, he'll be the centerpiece of their offense today. You can bank on that.
Now, here's Durant. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Well, I love the speed that Durant has. I mean, fantastic at slashing into the paint and scoring right at the rim. That length of stride of his and his speed, lethal combination.
Here's Beal. Avdia with it. He's picked up by KD. 5 to shoot. Avdia kicks to Westbrook. Beyond the arc. Griffin grabs the board.